welcome on into the 2025 football season preseason show. This is something we haven't done before. We haven't done a full overlook before. We're coming to you today. I'm Jeffrey Nielsen alongside the boy right here.
Like Nielsen.
A new captain on the campus. We'll get to that in a little more in a second. Kicking us off instantly, there's been a lot of controversy on the new rule changes this year. Yeah, we do have a lot of rule changes. The first and most important rule change, it's going to take a lot of people, is that 3-minute quarter. It was 4 minutes. It used to be 5 minutes back in the day, going down to 3 minutes. How do you think that affects the game?
Not as much touchdowns. It'll make it way more intense because there's just gonna be way more important times to get a touchdown at the end.
Yeah, I think it'll affect a lot more when it comes to the passing game because obviously completion will burn 20 seconds off, and that's already a big fraction of your time of that quarter. The biggest part of that change though is the rush now. Now that every play will have a guaranteed rusher, that'll cut play times in half, probably maybe even into thirds with a guaranteed blitzer. A play can last at most really 7 seconds now without getting the ball out, you know what I mean? So that could play a lot. You are looking to foul into a quarterback receiver role, as you said. How do you think that affects the quarterback overall with only 3 seconds to get the ball
out? Well, Johnny was a really good quarterback, and I think I'm a decent receiver. I could be quarterback or receiver,
Mm-hmm.
And just getting the ball out it's gonna be way harder.
It's gonna be very hard to get the ball out. This is like if we had a game update for our league. This is the defensive update. This is completely defense. Along with that also is our field goals only. 2 points have been with us since the beginning. They've changed over time with how they work. But now, no more 2-point conversions at all. It'll only be your referee doing this. For field goals, that could change a lot with the game on the line. If you need 2 points, you can only kick a field goal. That's going to guarantee you need an onside kick. What does that do, you think, only allowing field goals to come through the uprights now?
Well, you're not going to be able to get as much points,
100%, yeah.
And way back, the only person after a touchdown was Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Ever.
No one else ever really did. Malachi's team, I don't think they've ever kicked field goals. That's huge. The rule changes are going to drastically change, obviously, the points scored and how the game is played. A quarterback sitting in a pocket for 30 seconds, no more. No more of that. So that is our new rule changes. Moving on, the draft picks. You had the second overall pick. Mountain at 30 took Mason Sack. I had the mock draft. Went pretty good with it. Before we get into all the picks, though, the rookies going into that out of the combine, Isaac Gaskin, John Ryan, and Preston Carter. Which one of the rookies stood out to you most?
I think John Ryan did. I mean, obviously Isaac did really good, but I think Johnny did way better, throwing wise.
Yeah, John has that quarterback aspect to him. He's mentioned before he wants to do quarterback role. I think he'll fit right into that quarterback role. Isaac Gaskin looking more of like a defensive sleeper. I think he's going to be moving along defense. I think that's going to be good for the Bulls, where they've lacked most of their careers, the defensive side of the ball, with Cam Woodford not doing much himself on defense. Now with Isaac on defense, it's really needed for the Brooklyn Bulls, I think. And Preston Carter, we know really nothing about Preston Carter's football knowledge. What are you thinking, based off what you know, what do you think his projection is and what he'll do?
I think his quarterback will be a little bit better than everything because he's a baseball player. As y'all saw in that one game last baseball season, he did pretty good.
Yeah, he did really good. I think he's by all means athletic. He has probably a great future with the Hornets. I think they'll probably click pretty good. But other than that, we have the draft. I already reflected on my power rankings of the draft, but I'm in 30 picking Mason. That surprised you at all?
No, not at all.
Not at all. You took John Ryan, as you said, stood out to you most of the combine. Are you still satisfied with that pick?
I am, yeah.
Cam Woodford takes Isaac Gaskin. We said that makes sense 100% for him. Graydon Green, the craziest pick I think of the draft was Chase. 4th overall. What kind of stood out to you in that?
I thought he was going to pick Jamie, but no one else did, which I'm glad that no one else picked Jamie.
Yeah, you guys
I got really lucky.
You got a very big unit over there. Michael and Campbell did trade that 3rd and 5th pick, so Michael picked up Wyatt. Perfect for him to get a quarterback. Looking good there. Liam Newland then picked up Samuel Rhodes, a good Swifty player, which I think that's going to also help impact with Preston Carter as well. Going to that second round, Michael Seabold took Bryce. Perfect pick to finish that roster out. A great start to that Phantoms team. You had that second pick with Jamie still on the board. What kind of when you heard that Michael picked Bryce, how did your eyes kind of like how high did you jump out of your seat? I guess the question.
Well, I was watching the thing live so I could, see it,
Get that
obviously. And when Michael picked Bryce, I was really happy when he didn't pick
I think
Jamie.
everybody was kind of shocked, and I mean, we all kind of knew you were getting Jamie next. It was kind of inevitable. There's no way you weren't finishing out that unit of a team with Jamie. I mean, it was really insane to all of us, I think. Craziest pick I've really, I mean, I don't even know what to say. Then Liam Lewin had Preston Carter. We already talked about that a minute ago. Great pick there. I think it'll help with that kind of maybe a little voided spot on that team. Fill in a void, patching a hole in a tire. Then Cam Woodford takes Sonny Joseph. Did that surprise you at all? Maybe? He had a really good season with us last year, football season. But
yeah.
I think that's a good little pick for them. I think that'll be their their little guy they need. That guy that just, you need that last line of defense. I think that's Sonny. I think he'll be great in the running back spot. I think he'll do good on defense as well, like he did last year. I did a lot of sacks. I expect him to keep it going. Rodrigo Whitford was that 11th overall pick, and Mailman 30 was going to take her. I picked him to take her. He did take her. I don't think it shocked any of us. That's what they've been rolling with for a few years now. It's worked. It's worked and it hasn't, so we'll see. In his potential last year, Mailman 30 thinking about retiring. Is this his year with Rodrigo and Mason? Time will tell. Season's coming up. We'll find out soon. And Jackson Green going to Graydon Green to finish out the entire draft. No surprise there. Last person to pick from. His brother also, so I think nobody was surprised with that. But yeah, that was our draft. If you didn't go watch it, go over there and check it out. Skip through. It was really long because we did post the full thing live. But if you were there live, we enjoyed having you. Questions were great. Yeah, looking great. All right. We are heading into next week, heading over to our preseason game. We're excited about that. That's going to be both leagues. We did not mention that really too much in the draft, but we are having two leagues now. It is the North Sports Conference versus the South Sports Conference. The South Sports consists of the Snappers, Hornets, and Trojans because they're all under that half line. If you split the states in half. And the Phantoms, War Eagles, and Bulls are on that top north side. Really stacked conference there. That one's going to be a duel. I mean, it's going to be a bloodbath. There's only 2 playoff spots per conference as well, so you can kind of do the math there. Only 4 teams making it in, 2 teams not making it in. It's going to be a bloodbath in that North Conference. The South could be the same way. We don't really know yet. I think the Snappers are going to have a lot to prove. If not, they might not find themselves in those final 2 teams on that side. Yeah, that's our video coming up next weekend. It'll be the battle of the conferences and a little preseason just to kind of show you guys the new rules. Doesn't mean anything, nothing special about it, just kind of for fun, kind of breaking the season for you guys. Yeah, but now we're going to head over to your team. You got to know your team was going to be announced back in August. What did that kind of signify when you were like, yeah, I want to take on, what made you want to take on the role of the War Eagles?
Well, obviously, I like to take on, like, my brother, you.
Finally,
Felt really good.
Got a lot to prove this year. Do you think the season's more of a prove-it year for you or kind of a break-in year? Could be both as well.
Break-in, because, never been
Fresh.
captain before.
And it is John Ryan era in Washington. That could be huge. Jamie Garlisi already has a Super Bowl with the War Eagles, and he could go right back with them again. The biggest surprise this year out of anything was the Phantoms joining the league. When you heard about the Phantoms joining, which you heard a lot before anybody else did, what did you kind of expect out of Michael Seabold as a captain?
I think he's going to do really good as a captain this season because he's been on the War Eagles how many times?
Football season and 2 baseball seasons. So
3 times.
And he won the championship every year. So he's now branched off. He has a lot of titles. He has more titles than most people do in the league, which is why he got that spot. He's got a lot of experience under his belt, and I expect him to do good. He drafted really good draft class, so 100% expect him to exceed. We'll see how that works. All right, we're heading into our final section of this preseason video. This one is exciting because we get to write out all of the picks in the season. We get to pick every game. 1, Snappers and Bulls. It's a battle, not a conference battle, but a battle nonetheless. What do you expect to see out of the Brooklyn Bulls against the Snappers?
I think the Bulls might win, honestly. I think they have a decent team, a little bit better than the Snappers, because honestly, the Snappers only have, I think, 2 quarterbacks. They don't have many linemen.
That is true. Snappers have
Or they have a
maybe
good
one
lineman.
quarterback.
Chase. I don't know if Chase is a good quarterback. or not. I forgot.
Chase Hummelsdorf's gonna have to prove it. I think he'll be over the center mostly. We'll see though.
Yeah.
Who's your pick to win that game in game 1?
Bulls.
Brooklyn Bulls start 1-0. I think I expect that too. I think the Brooklyn Bulls are going to kind of get things kicked off. They did last year against the Snappers in the season opener, and it worked out good for them. Game 2, you are traveling to take on Mailman 30. He's been dominant in the league so far. With his record-wise, he's been doing solid. A good bounce-back year last year. This is your first game. What is it going to take to win your first game?
I don't think it will take that much because obviously they have Mason and Malachi. Rodrigo hasn't been in the league in I don't know how long. It's been a while, so I don't know how good she'll be.
That's true.
But Mason is a pretty good receiver. We're just going to need to play defense really well. And I think our offense will be really good.
You got the War Eagles in that, by the way. I have the War Eagles. Obviously, you do in your first game. Game 3, a big one. Hornets at Phantoms. Michael Seabold's first game as a captain. What do you think of Michael Seabold in his first game?
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know.
First captain season.
It's going to be a
Says
big
mine,
curve.
but
Yeah. I think I'm going to play it safe and just go against them in the first game. I'm going to call Hornets take the win. I think they're going to outsmart them in that game. I think it'll be a big learning curve for the Phantoms. I'm not counting on it yet, but I think they dropped their first one in a ditch effort to learn the game. I think Michael Seabold drops his first game as captain of the Phantoms. Game number 4 is you are back. You're 1-0. You're playing on the Bulls. The Bulls is not even a physical game to play. You got to play Cam Woodford mentally. He acts like a 5.5-year-old on the field. How do you beat that mentality?
Get him mad. If you get him mad, he cannot do anything about it.
I think you guys take down the Brooklyn Bulls by multiple scores. What do you think you do against Brooklyn Bulls?
It could be a close game where it might not be.
All depends how they click.
Yep. Could make Campbell mad and we could lose or win. Never know.
The Battle of the Best Friends in Game 5, the Snappers and Hornets, a really good game, I think. I don't think Snappers are there yet when it comes to competing with them. That's an in-conference matchup.
I think Hornets are going to win that game.
I think the Hornets get them too. I think the Hornets
and
beat them good. I think they beat them by a lot. I think they really do. I think they... Game number 6, however, a big one. Phantoms and the Trojans, Mountain 30 and Michael Seabold, the oldest captain. Well, technically Campbell Woodford is the oldest captain now, because he was captain. The longest captain, Mountain 30, taking on the newest captain. How does that affect the game? A lot of experience versus no experience at all. Especially after both of them starting 0-1. One of them starts with a win here.
I think Trojans get that game.
I think Mountain 30 does too. I think Mountain 30 takes Michael Seabold out, and that puts Michael down 0-2 already out of his 5 games, which means he needs 3 wins straight probably to make a playoff run. So heading into game number 7, the Snappers are already de-shelled at this point, and they have to go take on the powerhouse in the Washington War Eagles. How do you keep the score reasonable to keep them playing this game, is what I'm going to ask you.
Maybe try to waste time,
For sure.
Not try to keep scoring.
War Eagles advance to 3-0, Savannah's 0-3, and that's brutal because 0-3, and there's no way you get a winning record after that, and you got to fight for a playoff spot. So that's hard for them. But in game 8, we're halfway through the season at this point now. Cam Woodford and Michael Seabold battle it out, Bulls versus Phantoms. I don't really know this one.
I think the Phantoms take that game against the Bulls.
I agree.
They have, the Bulls have 2 good players, and then the last player, he's decent. Sonny's decent, but he's not the best, right? But then the Phantoms, they have all at least decent players,
Agreed. Yeah. I think
So just overall, Phantoms beat Bulls.
kind of just a dominant game for them. This one is a impressive one because it's Trojans taking on the Hornets. Liam Newland, I believe they're 2-0 at this point. Yes, they are 2-0 at this point. Mountain 30, 1-1. The winner of this kind of runs the South at this point because they're both in that South Conference. The winner of this has that grudge technically speaking.
Hornets. I think they have more energy than the Trojans do.
They do have a lot more energy. I'm going to have to disagree with you there on that one, though. I put down Trojans taking on the Hornets. I think Malman 30 kind of comes out angry in this game, knowing what he has to do and what's on the line. In his last year, I think he eliminates the Hornets in this game. Not out of the playoffs yet, but I think he runs it up. Not a divisional game, but a game that means a lot for these two teams. Who has that grudge?
Phantoms. I think the Phantoms got that over the Snappers.
So you're putting the Snappers down at 0-4 at this point now, right? Now, I think that I agree with you there with the Phantoms. I think Michael Siebold puts himself back in a position to run for the North. But I think the Green, I think they make it close. I think they make it really close. I think they kind of outsmart Michael. I think at this point they kind of run different plays, kind of learn new things, and I think they just fall a little bit short and fall to 0-4. Put Michael Siebold back up in a spot to run the North. Everybody's favorite game of the year right now. Trojans, Bulls. The brother rivalry. Could be one last time we see it. This one's going to be a really good game. I think Isaac Gaskin really shows off that rookie year this year and breaks through. I think the Bulls take down the Trojans this game. I think they do. I think the Trojans and the Bulls have kept this rivalry going. I think Cam Woodford gives the last laugh this game. And I think Isaac Gaskin has the biggest game of his year right here in Game 11. But game number 12, I think this game is by far the most physical game we have all year. The most energy we have on the field all year. It's you taking on the Hornets. And right now, going into this game, you're 3-0. What does this game mean for you and your team if you're 3-0 at this point?
We have to win it to stay in first seed.
100%, yeah.
We have to keep it up. And we just gotta also play defense again this game.
This game, I'm going to go ahead and pick the War Eagles. I think they kind of keep that power going. I don't see any slowdown from you guys. I don't see how it could happen unless, of course, of a notable absence. That could change a lot throughout your season. But other than that, I think full healthy, full equipped, I think you take down the Hornets and you advance to 4-0. Heading to game number 13. This one is our last three slate of the game. Every team has one more game at this point. And that can be a huge differential. Right now, teams are fighting to get in, teams are fighting to stay in, and teams are fighting for the 1 seed. And this one is a big one because the Snappers at this point are unfortunately probably out of their playoff spots. But they play the Trojans. And if they can beat the Trojans, they could dethrone them from that 1 spot and allow the Hornets to come up and take the 1 spot in the South. I think the Trojans take down the Snappers.
In my mind.
And I think the Trojans would put themselves in that 1 spot for the South. So another matchup of a 2-2 situation here. Hornets and Bulls in game 14. The Bulls need this win. But at the same time, the Hornets also might need a win to get the 1 spot. So when you look at the Bulls, you think of Isaac Gaskin right off the bat. 100% athletics, full speed coming in. But you think of Cam Woodford slowing himself down and his team down with lack of knowledge. The Hornets are going to come out of this game full speed, nonstop. I think they pound. Who gets out of this game with the win?
I think Hornets, because like you said, they're way faster, especially mentally.
It's going to be a rage bait fest on this game, I feel. Takes us into the last game of the season. This one is also really huge. Okay, because we know you guys have been dominant all year at this point, right? But we know what it means to Michael Siebold's team. And I think you guys 100% dominate the Phantoms. I think you're going to out-physical them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you the grudge there. To our postseason, looking ahead, we'll start in the South Sports Conference because that one was the neck-and-neck battle. I mean, so is the NSC. We're looking at this on paper and it's crazy. This is going to be a matchup in conferences this is going to be legacy-ic. We're going to start with the obvious Savannah Snappers, 0-5. No chance. That allows the Hornets and the Trojans to come in both at 3-2. We're going to give home field advantage to the Tallahassee Trojans because they would most likely out-physicate and win their games by more points, we think, potentially. But both of those teams in at 3-2. That's the South Sports Conference. So you're looking at the South Sports Championship to be the Tallahassee Trojans versus the Houston Hornets. But heading over to the NSC, it gets a little interesting here because we do have the War Eagles automatically getting their bid into it with 5-0. You, after that great draft you picked, you have 5-0 when it comes down to it. The Bulls and Phantoms are both 2-3. This could obviously change, and one of them could have one more win or one less win. But off our prediction, they're both 2-3. Looking through all the games and what we've predicted, Who would you say would deserve that spot against you in the playoff?
Not sure. I think the Phantoms.
I think the Phantoms get the grudge over the Bulls. Well, we'll see. It depends on who wins more games and how they win them by. How much points, obviously, but the Phantoms, we're calling the Phantoms getting in over the Bulls. We don't think Cam Woodford has it all there yet still, even with that draft pick. So War Eagles versus Phantoms in the NSC Championship game, which is crazy to say, but we do have it. Now, we get to branch this out even more. The South Sports Conference heading back over Trojans versus Hornets. Last time these two teams played in the regular season, we kind of said it was going to be a fight anyway, right? We kind of knew, okay, this is going to be a battle no matter what. Trojans are going to be that fast team. We picked them in the last game, Game 9, to beat the the Hornets. Did they beat them again? So Melvin 30 go out there and get one final win guaranteed to get himself in that Super Bowl spot.
I think they win.
I think the Trojans win too. I think Melvin 30 utilizes Mason Sack in the right way. I think Rodrigo Woodford shows up. I think they hand the ball off to her. I think she gets half the field every play. I think, honestly, Melvin 30 takes down the Hornets in that South Sports Championship. I think you see Melvin 30 back in the Super Bowl. And I think we're going to be seeing a rematch in that Super Bowl because I think you take down the Phantoms in that North Sports Championship.
Yeah.
You agree you take down the Phantoms?
No.
And how bad do you beat the Phantoms?
I don't want to beat them by too much, you know?
Kind of feel bad.
But, yeah.
Little rookie captain. But nonetheless, an impressive season for Michael Seabold, just following short of the Super Bowl. So Super Bowl number 7, which is crazy to say we've already been doing this for 7 years. We appreciate you guys. War Eagles versus Trojans. And I'm biased. You're going to be biased. War Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl again. Super Bowl 7, powerhouse of a team. I really haven't seen one like this, like, ever. We really haven't had one like this, ever. I promise you guys, no War Eagles team has been this stacked, ever. No team has been this stacked, ever. Trojans fall a little bit short. I think Rodrigo could play a huge role again, as I said. I don't think they can stop the War Eagles offense, though. I think the War Eagles have good defense to stop them. So, you're taking home the Super Bowl trophy in a theoretical stance. That's going to end it for our pregame show. Make sure you guys are keeping your eyes out on the channel for next week's game, the North Sports Conference versus the South Sports Conference in a battle of a preseason matchup to see all the new rules. Keep it on our Instagram, our TikTok, everywhere. Go follow us everywhere to see all the news, updates, player, interviews. All kinds of stuff will be there. That's going to do it for our pregame show. We hope you guys are excited for the preseason, for the overall, just the season in general, for JML Sports Football. It's going to be for me and Blake Nielsen. Appreciate you having on the show, sir. Thank you for joining us. Good luck this season. And see you guys next week in a battle of the conferences.